Well, Glenda and I made it today to Fort Ticonderoga in New York on the shores of Lake Champlain. And we've just started the tour, so this is the entrance here. We are looking at Mount Defiance from Fort Ticonderoga here. And the cool thing that I remember, we watch TV a lot, right? And so one episode of Outlander, Jamie, they were defending Fort Ticonderoga, and he said, you know what, the doggone British are going to get up on top of that mountain and they can hit us here with cannon fire, and that's not good. We need to get men up there so that we can defend the fort from being attacked from that hill. And the general didn't believe him, so he and a squad of his guys drug a cannon up there and they got up there, and then they fired a shot from up there to prove to the general that he was right. Funny little thing. Okay, off to tour some more of Fort Ticonderoga. One of the really cool features of this park is that all the docents are in period dress, and they act out many of the daily chores. We saw them chopping wood, chopping vegetables, and cooking soup. There were people sewing up uniforms, moving the oxen from field to courtyard, and then also they depict a battle by firing the cannon and defending the wall of the fort with muskets. That was pretty loud. And plus the fife and drum corps played some of the daily calls for the soldiers to begin their duties. Plus, from one of the docents, Grandpa got the opportunity to handle one of those giant muskets, and boy, those things are heavy. These three docents that were firing the muskets were really interesting. After they got done with their demonstration, which we missed, they started telling us different stories and so on, and they're very informative, and they have an awful lot of historical information at the tip of their tongue. So here's the fort. We're going to go ahead and go on in and do some touring around. So back in the day, you can see the river over there, but back in the day there wouldn't be any trees, no brush, no trees, just open field basically, so that they could see the approaching enemy and be able to knock them out with cannon and musket fire. They brought these cannon from all over the world. I read one of the little things. They brought these cannon from all over the world. I read one of the little things. They brought these cannon from all over the world. I read one of the. What do we have here? We've got some soup going on, huh?
It's not a fort. What's
the mission?
Mission.
Yeah.
And we had a cook and we make candles and
They're fun.
stuff. Yeah.
That
But they had a break. What are we singing something?
Yeah.
Well, now we have bulls. They're yoked. Now this was really a pretty cool demonstration. I had never seen oxen before, and this guy, the docent, he went out and got these two oxen and yoked them together, brought them out of their pen up into the courtyard, and then he moved them around with just some voice commands and his stick. I don't know what they call that stick, some kind of a prod. Anyway, then he takes them over to the that skid. He hooks up the chains, he hitches them up to that skid, and then took it completely out of the courtyard and showed all the people that were outside. I guess he probably ended up taking them out to their pen again. But very, very cool. Some of the exhibits inside one of the rooms here. This is how you load a cannon. This is how you would haul a cannon up with block and tackle. Doing a great job. Well, we're down now at King's Garden and getting close to the dock for the boat tour. I was just going to point out these apple trees. I'm betting that those trees are in the age range of 250 years. The building back there is an old hotel called the Pavilion Hotel. And it operated right through the I think it said 1909. And we're off. Leaving the dock. The boat ride was really fun, and surprisingly, it was quite informational. That tour guide fella had quite a bit of historical facts at his fingertips. You can tell that he's a history major at some university in the off season. Well, after the boat ride, I stopped to talk to a fella at the boat building workshop. And they're building replicas of the rowboats that they used in the battles. They build one per year. After that, we stopped and spoke to a young woman who was making a fishing net for use in the lake, and it was going to be like 12 feet by 64 feet long,
like you said,
in total.
Sort of like the idea of knitting in terms of you're doing one row that's sort of a casting on row, and then the rest of your rows are done with a different knot or stitch if you're knitting. And you also go one row at a time, so you'll do one whole entire row and then another one.
Next, we made the drive up to the top of Mount Defiance. Well, we made it up to Mount Defiance, and we are looking at Fort Ticonderoga from up on top. Well, sweetheart, What do you think after we made it up to the top of the mountain and did the tour down at the fort and the lake? See there's the boat doing another tour. Yeah. They said Green Mountains of Vermont.
Yes.
White Mountains in New Hampshire. And then I don't know what's... Yeah, Adirondack Mountains are what we're on.
We're in them.
Yeah, we're in them. We're in them. Very cool. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, very cool. Fort Ticonderoga. Lots of real good history here. Real good because we won. This informational sign explains much of the history of and around Mount Defiance, and also that the range of a 12-pound bronze cannon firing a normal 6-pound charge of gunpowder can definitely hit Fort Ticonderoga, which was approximately 1 mile away from the top of Mount Defiance.